Okay. All right, we're recording. Okay. Okay, Dr. Burton, thank you so much for taking time with me today. I'm so glad that you're granting me this time to interview you as a leader in our community, and I have some questions to ask you. First of all, please identify your position and title and how that fits into your organization.
All right. My position and title. Well, my position is Chief Executive Officer or Executive Director, whichever reference you prefer. And basically, in our organization, I am the lead for the everyday operations. And then there's a hierarchy of people underneath me. And I report to a board of directors. Northwest Child Development is a nonprofit. So I am employed by a board of directors that I report to.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And how many child care programs do you currently preside over?
Currently, we have 5 facilities that are open. We have 6 facilities. One is not open temporarily, but we have 5 that are operating. One in Davie County, one in Stokes, 3 here in Forsyth County.
Okay. Which is the one that's not open? So you have one that's just not in operation, you
Right.
said?
We closed the Coliseum location when we opened up downtown East, but we're looking to reopen up Coliseum. We want to use it as a training ground for early childhood education and to also do a horticultural educational outside environment program at that location. So we're working on trying to write some grants so that we can get that facility back open as a training ground and an opportunity for outdoor learning and gardening and things of that nature.
Oh my gosh, that sounds awesome. I love that. I love the outdoors as an extension of the classroom.
Correct.
That's going to be, that would be fabulous. How many years have you been in the early care and education field?
In early education, I've been in, this is the start of my 8th year. In education altogether, I started teaching in middle school back in 1992. So I've been in the education arena since 92. This is 2014, so about 22 years.
Wow. Okay. So you taught middle school?
I taught middle school. I taught math and science in middle school. I did 1 year in high school. I didn't like high school.
I bet not. But I bet the kids loved you, though.
And I also did, I did alternative education and things of that nature.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Okay. How would you describe your job to someone that's not in the early childhood education field?
My job is making sure that we're considering where we're going to go in the future. I mean, I guess the big role of my organization is looking at the mission and looking at the goal of objectives that the organization has. My job in detail is trying to make sure that that mission and the goals of objective for each one of those things are being met to the best of our ability. So I look at the bigger picture of everything that's going on within the organization, what's going on into the arena of early childhood education, and trying to make sure that we're meeting the objectives that the community wants, that the Pacific field needs, and that our parents are asking for.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so much. I love that intro. Do you get, and this isn't on here, but do you get a lot of people that are just amazed at you being in the early childhood field and being a leader in our profession?
This is a predominantly female industry, I guess is the best way to say it. And so because of that, a lot of people are surprised that I have taken that time to try to get involved in the early education field.
Yeah, but I think it's wonderful. I really do. I have seen some of the very best directors and even teachers in the classroom in early education being male, and the children love them, and they do such a great job, the males do, and I wish there was more of a balance between female and male, because males are wonderful with young children. A lot of them are. It's just like with women. Not everybody is great with young children. Not everybody's great in the classroom. But if you find your niche,
correct,
then it's so great. And I don't think it should be restricted to just women, because some men are just absolutely great with young children. And I think that the young children really gravitate because they don't see that many. And a lot of the young children don't have male figures. Correct. So they really love seeing a man, know that's a teacher, somebody they can look up to,
Right.
somebody when you come in and out of the programs. I just know that they love that, so I think it's wonderful. What specific tasks must you accomplish on a day-to-day or week-to-week basis?
Which one? Say that one more time.
What specific tasks must you accomplish on a day-to-day or week-to-week basis?
On a day-to-day basis, I guess my specific task is making sure that the employees of our organization understand what our objectives and our goals are, making sure that the administrative team understands what that is and that they carry it out to everyone else, trying to make sure that the community understands what it is that we're trying to do on a large scale in the early childhood education arena, making sure that I'm being a positive spokesperson for the organization and getting out in the community and letting the community know what it is that we can offer, what we do offer, and what we'd like to offer in the future based off of the needs of the community and the needs of the industry. So those are the things that I do daily, weekly. I look at the bigger objectives. The day-to-day operations of the actual facilities is handled by our chief operations officer and by our directors and the staff that actually work with kids on that daily basis. But the bigger picture and trying to move forward is what I try to concentrate on.
I think that's wonderful. That's really what a perfect answer. What are the skills that are most important to your success?
Well, being able to collaborate, bring people together, being able to convey the vision, the mission, the objectives of the organization, being flexible, trying to be as effective team player as you can be with your community partners, finding partners that support the mission and vision of the organization. Unlike most child care facilities that are non-church based, they are for-profit centers. And our organization is a non-profit, so we also have to work on making sure that we can let people of the community know what it is that we do, that are interested in trying to support the efforts and make donations to help children who can't afford care, affordable child care.
Okay. Do you get donations from the community for that to happen?
I do.
Really?
We get donations for that. We have a scholarship fund that we work with that's in-house. We try to go out and raise funds to match dollars so that we can increase the number of children that we serve that are disadvantaged. So we get foundation grants, we get individual donations. We don't get as many as we would like to get. It would be great if we could raise about $1 million. Then I think we could really solve some problems for our children. As you know, it probably costs approximately $11,000 to $12,000 a year for a child to go to a high-quality early childhood program. Right. And a lot of our families in the community just cannot afford that, even if they're getting some type of assistance. They can't afford that, and so that's why we go out and try to find additional assistance to try to help them out through scholarships, through grants, through other agencies that provide assistance and things of that nature.
So does that help children that maybe are not eligible for subsidy, that maybe in-house they might be eligible?
Correct.
Is that right?
And so, we look at children on a totality, I guess is the best way to say it. We look at the family on a totality. So, every once in a while you run into a situation where a parent may not qualify, let's just say, for a voucher. Because they've always been a 2 working income family or either 1 income family, but they make so much that they can't. But then something drastic happens.
Right.
They lose their job, they get sick or something like that, and they end up having to lose time. And what typically happens in any case, when the economy gets bad or a parent loses a job, whatever, the first thing that goes is childcare. And that's one of those things they can see an immediate savings on, because again, the average cost a week is anywhere from $150 to $200. And so we try to help those families out too. At the same time, we try to provide scholarships for families that receive, that don't qualify for DSS or qualify for DSS, but they're on the waiting list.
Right.
Because we have quite a few children in all of our counties that are on waiting lists trying to get vouchers,
yeah.
But in the meanwhile are not being served. So we try our best to serve that too. So it's a difficult balancing act, and that's one of the sides of being a nonprofit, that we try to raise that money so that we can help those children stay.
Wow, I think that's absolutely great, and very much needed too. What barriers or challenges exist that can or do affect your success?
Well, there are all kinds of barriers. I mean, every day you get up, there's a different barrier. But I think some of the major barriers out there is this with our economy. When our economy is not doing as well, then donations are generally down. Opportunities to find funding to help assist others are down. Parents that would typically enroll their children in the program don't enroll in their program because they're not working as much or because they have to figure out a way to create a savings in their own home. So those are a lot of the barriers that are out there. Then you also look at the fact of the competition that's out there. There's a whole lot of options out there for families, and then sometimes there are options that are out there that families take that may not be the best option for the family, but it may be the best option for the situation for that family at that time. Again, child care is not the cheapest thing in the world, and high quality child care is definitely not the cheapest thing. And sometimes parents have to make decisions on what to do. So trying to find funding, trying to find backing, trying to find the right partnerships, trying to market yourself to be able to offer something that others don't offer. One of the things that we try to do is we push technology. And that is one of the things that's different about our facilities than most facilities. We use technology in the classroom. We have an agreement with Hatch to provide early childhood technology opportunities in our facilities. And our newest facility on 7th Street, we like to say it's the most technology-enriched child care facility in the state, probably the country. But that's because of our partnership with Hatch and being able to offer things that typically most child care facilities can't offer to the magnitude that we do. I think everybody offers some type of technology, so I don't want anyone to think that I'm saying that other child care facilities don't offer technology. But most of them are limited in what they can do because you're limited based on your budget and what you can bring in.
Yes.
And so that's one of the limits that are out there. Those are one of the barriers that are out there.
It's definitely state of the art what you offer in partnership with Hatch. I think that's wonderful. I've seen it in your classrooms. I've seen it used, and it is something that I don't see very often at all. So I agree with you on that. What do you find most rewarding about your job?
Most rewarding about my job is when 5-6 years from now, a child comes back and says that they remember me, or I see somebody at the mall. Even now with me being out of the teaching field since the K-12 teaching field, I should say, I still have children that are in my facilities now that parents I taught when they were in middle school.
Wow.
And so having those children come back and say that, they appreciated what I did for them now, and they like the opportunity that their children have an opportunity to, be in a program with someone that they're familiar with. And so it's been exciting for that. But